What's up, guys? Appreciate you tuning in for this episode. Got a little special something. Figure I would share with you guys. So as everyone knows, Honda is on back order, and I posted that I messed up my Honda that I had. Never even ran a car. Destroyed it. And honestly, whenever I started with this all-wheel drive project, boy, I'm white. I need to get tan on these guns. But no, whenever I started this all-wheel drive project, I had planned to go with this engine management that I've purchased now. And it just worked out, you know, to where I could actually get it this time. Before I didn't get it because I lost my job and kind of put me in a little bit of a financial bind per se. I mean, I wasn't hungry or nothing, but just kind of changed up some of the plans with the project. Everyone knows that this crap right here is just a play toy, right? It's not something that is going to put food in my mouth or anything like that. So, you know, priorities changed, and so I went with a Honda. It was about half the price at the time. And, you know, since I messed up the Honda and the Honda is on back order, I was just looking at other options, and I found this unit used. Well, the ECU, I had to still buy the conversion harness and a couple of the sensors. So I guess without further ado, let's unbox this baby. All right, so I was checking out Instagram, and I'm friends with several people on there who part out cars, I guess. So I found this, and this actually came from Jamie Marsh. If you know anything about going fast with a Honda, you know who Jamie Marsh is, right? So. I actually got, oddly enough, my FedEx delivered this on Sunday. Since when does FedEx deliver on Sunday? Today's Tuesday. This other box came yesterday on Monday. Hello, bubbly. Bubble wrap. So I present to you the AM Infinity. Like I said, I bought this one used. This is a 506. Yeah, these are pretty universal. They'll work on a bunch of different cars, so you have to get the conversion harness, so that's what's gonna be in the other box. And I'm still waiting on an oil pressure gauge, fuel pressure gauge, and a new wideband. I had a 4.9 wideband sensor, and I needed a 4.2 to run this. I didn't know. But I'm selling all my gauges out of the car that needs these gauges. I have the boost and the oil pressure. Oil pressure is electronic, and the boost is obviously mechanical. I do have the sending unit for the oil pressure sensor. And I also have this little gauge pod that went where the AC controls would go in a EG. So if you need this, hit me up too. I don't need any of that. So if you're in the market for an altimeter boost gauge or an altimeter electronic oil pressure gauge, hit me up, I got one. I ordered fuel pressure sensor and the oil pressure sensor so that I can hook them up, and they actually wire directly into this. So what's the great thing about AM Infinity is that you can set up basically safeties in it to where it monitors your oil pressure, your fuel pressure, and you know, if either one of those get low, it can cut the car off without killing your motor. So it's a good thing. And with me having a digital cluster, I can program the cluster to have all the readouts that my other gauges had on them, and that should be on my cluster. So now instead of having like my oil pressure, my boost, and my air fuel on my little gauges there in the center above the radio, now they all be displayed right there on my digital cluster. This is the conversion harness I had to buy from AEM to make it work on my car, because like I said, The Infinity is universal. It can be used on a bunch of different cars. AEM sells a conversion harness. Couldn't find one of these used, but if you need one, hit up Jason Waters. He's the GOAT. He'll hook you up. All right, so this is the conversion harness. As you can see, it's plug and play pretty for the most part. I mean, your KSeries harness plugs in here. This plugs into the AEM Infinity. And then apparently the wideband hooks into this. Doesn't really look like the... I guess I need to figure out how I can get this to hook up to my wideband sensor. And my wideband sensor don't have that kind of connector. And it came, like, you can add pins for auxiliary stuff too, like the sensors and whatnot. Yeah, I got some studying to do. I'll get it figured out though. So now I'm just pretty much waiting on the sensors to come in from AEM. Hopefully they'll be in by the end of the week, I'm not sure. I don't really have time to be working on this car anyhow. But I would like to hear it run. So I was reading, right there it tells me, it says, I gotta get this conversion harness to hook my conversion harness to the wideband. So I gotta get this too. Always something, an adapter for an adapter for an adapter. All right guys, so obviously I don't know a ton about engine management or anything like that, but I do know that the AEM Infinity is a pretty solid platform, and with having the wideband integrated into it, adjust the tune on the fly. You can set target AFRs, so say if I went to a different elevation or somewhere out of southeast, and it would adjust the tune accordingly. Kind of like some of the BMWs and stuff, how they do with their performance, like the M series stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And I like the fail-safe stuff on it too, as far as how you can integrate the fuel pressure and oil pressure. So I think that's pretty solid too. So I'm really happy that I was able to get the AEM Infinity. Granted, yes, it did cost a little more than the Honda, but hopefully the extra cost will pay off in the end. Also, the AEM two-step, pretty gnarly. So I'm really looking forward to getting up on that AEM two-step. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Maybe soon we can get this stuff installed and I can get a video together for that. So once we get it installed, we can get tuned. I think all that's left on the car though, seriously, is I gotta get an alignment and I gotta get a tune. Pretty much it. So hopefully soon, guys, hopefully soon. Also, I think I'm gonna be changing the rear diff. The Booster Boys kind of got me spooked. I welded the spider gears in my differential and they keep busting axles with the Raudacy. So I don't really want to bust my Insane Shaft 500 horsepower axles. So I'm gonna put another diff in it, in the back, with just the pin clutches and leave it open diff. Cause they've been busting axles like just doing a regular turn. I'm not about that life, yo. So I've seen a lot of guys running pretty solid passes with open rear diff. I got an LSD in the front, so I think it'll be fine. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next. Peace.